helping the world keep promises.
Welcome back. Well, President Trump expected to end the immigration program known as DACA, which protects children of illegal immigrants from getting deported.
But today's announcement's got a catch. Listen, the president reportedly is going to give 6 months for Congress to sort it all out. So he'll extend DACA for 6 months, essentially.
Joining us right now to discuss Fox News senior legal analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano.
Good morning.
Judge, the president ran on, he was going to get rid of it, and now he's saying, I'm going to get rid of it. Congress, you got to do it anyway. Do it.
All right, so we are talking about people who were brought here as infants by parents whose entry was illegal. And the infants have grown up into teenagers and young adults, and they are, for the most part, fully Americanized. We're talking about 800,000 people. We're not talking about criminals harming people in the streets. We're talking about kids in high school, young people in college, and people in the workforce. Every president since Ronald Reagan, since 1986, has said hands off on these folks. The only president that reduced that to writing in a series of 12 executive orders was Barack Obama. And when those 12 executive orders were challenged in court, the court invalidated them, saying this is for Congress to do. Mr. President, if you had done this quietly and below the radar screen like all of your predecessors have done, and as Donald Trump is doing today, there'd be nothing for us to invalidate. But because this is for Congress to write the law and not you, you can't change the law.
And we got the deadlines because Republican governors sued the federal government to say this is unconstitutional.
Yes,
right?
The reason the Republican governors sued is because when immigrants, legal or illegal, stay in the country, they are entitled to a social benefit net that's paid for by the states. So here's the argument. Do you want to take 800,000 people, largely productive, largely students, or largely in the workforce, and send them home? Do you want to separate children from their parents? Do you want to separate brothers and sisters from each other?
And many of them aren't even children anymore.
Yes.
They have grown up here. They've gone to school here. And so there are two sides of this argument, right? The legal side of do we get back to law and order in this country, which President Trump has been honing in on. And there's also the emotional side, as you're talking about. So what does Congress do? Because
okay, so the legal side says they go. They can't stay here. The emotional side, even the economic side, says you're going to kick 800,000 young people out of the United States of America. That's going to be catastrophic for their employers, for their families, and for local economies.
I believe Apple said that they have over 100 DACA people working for them.
Prediction, Congress will find some common ground to permit most of these people to stay.
Paul Ryan has already sided with Nancy Pelosi.
Paul Ryan and Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and many Republicans are on the same side as this. Donald Trump, the Donald Trump who was a candidate, is fiercely against this. We'll see if he feels differently now that he's in the White House.
But ultimately, Donald Trump is doing it the right way because he's saying if you want to keep them in this country, Congress, you do it.
Exactly. That's exactly what the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals said. Justice Scalia had died and Justice Gorsuch was not on the court. The Supreme Court tied 4-4 on this. So the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals opinion, which governs Texas, is the law of the land. And that says Congress decides and not the president.
So would this be something legislatively that is just DACA-centric, or should this be part of something that is immigration reform?
That is a terrific question because there are many people in Congress, Republicans and Democrats, and the man in the White House who want a major immigration reform, and this will be part of it. But knowing the way Congress works, and if the president only gives them 6 months today before he starts deporting these people, we're going to get a piece of legislation just on DACA, and we won't get that big reform because they can't agree.
Judge, I have an idea. Let's build the wall and let the dreamers stay. Isn't that called compromise?
Yes, that is compromise.
That might be what the president was thinking all along, though. Maybe it could be a bargaining chip in some way.
Mr. President, not a bad idea.
Judge, good to have you here.
All right, Judge, welcome back.
Pleasure, guys. All the best.
All right, 12 minutes before the top of the hour.